What's up, everybody, man? Big weekend. I actually got to experience this weekend. So I went up to Cincinnati and took part in a lot of festivities, man. Got to see a lot of people, a lot of you guys I got to run into, and I really appreciate everybody saying hi. I might have broken some chains on, for those of you who know Who Day Baby, I might have broken some chains because we might have had a pretty strong hug there when we first saw each other. So, Sean, I apologize for breaking your chains. But you know what? I was there. I did it. Let's go. I see who. Oh, is that Who Day Baby? I don't know. I guess that's Who Day Baby. If it's Who Day Baby in the chat, Who Day Baby, again, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to break your chains. But looking at the game, man, the Colts came into town kind of hot. I think they were on a 5-game win streak, and a lot of those were kind of, they were close games against some teams that probably they should have beaten. But the Bengals, man, they came out on fire. One of the things they're doing, and I'll get into it in just a minute when I get to the offense, is they're just running an offense. It's not based around one person. It's based around everybody, the collective. And I think that's where that's kind of where they've been trying to get to. And if Burrow ran this offense that they're running right now, and with this efficiency, put it that way, it'd be one of those things where I'm not sure who would beat them at all. I mean, they may score 50 points every game. And I say that, but it's game to game. I get it. I will say this about Jake Browning. Jake Browning is playing as good a football as you can expect from a guy who hasn't played that amount of football, but everybody understands that he's also a pretty damn good player. So with that being said, the Bengals offense, man, 385 yards. Okay, whatever. 32 rushes. 25 pass attempts. They ran the ball 7 more times than they threw the ball, and they won by 20. Joe Mixon, 21 rushes, 79 yards, 3.8 average. Okay, but a lot of that, man, he got stuffed on the goal line a few times. Okay, it is what it is, but that kind of took away from the average. But he did have a touchdown. He had 3 receptions for 46 yards on one of those on a really long screen pass. Chase Brown came out of the woodworks, and he had 8 rushes for 25 yards, 3.1 average, whatever. But he had 3 receptions for 80 yards, and he had that long the 54-yard touchdown pass on the screen. That was, he outran the entire league at that point, except for DK Metcalf. Just looking at some of the things that the team was doing, you just saw more of an overall kind of usage of everybody. And I think that was really good on offense. Defensively, really in all reality, defense played pretty good because the 7 of those points that were actually 8 of those points that were given up were off of an interception, and then they gave up a 2-point conversion after that. But they gave up a pick 6 there at the end of the first half. One of the things I wanted to get into, I was asked about this on Twitter by a non-Bengals fan, and which would make that person a Colts fan most likely. But this was the launching penalty, and this was actually this was early in the game. When I say second quarter, 7-0. So this was going to be 10-0 right here. He made the field goal, I believe, but this was an unsportsmanlike conduct. Well, what they're calling this on is, you see how 96 right here uses his buddy right here, uses number 90, and kind of it's not much, but you can see it looks like he's pushing up on him. But then the problem you run into is he lands right there. If he wouldn't have gone up and landed the way he landed, I don't think it would have been that big of a deal. So point being is when they're doing that, that's what they're talking about. I think that is a by the book, that's the call. So the Bengals ended up getting a half the distance to the goal line penalty here, automatic first down, ended up scoring a touchdown. So good for the Bengals there. I think that was a big turning point in the first half, because that made it 14-0. And obviously, they came back and tied it. But let's take a look at the offense on the Bengals side here. And I'm going to do this in sections here. I've got the run game put together first, and I want to talk about the run game, because I think that's a big part of what's going on with them right now. And obviously, y'all all know me. I'm a former running back coach, O-line coach, all that stuff. So do I love the run game? Yes, I do. But I also know that they're doing some things that people have been asking to do. This right here, that's number 30. That's Chase Brown. We've been the Bengals have been throwing these little toss plays to Mixon. Everybody's like, well, why are you throwing that? Why are you tossing it to Mixon? No, sorry, I had it going the wrong way. But you can see right here, when you toss it to Brown, there is a little bit of a different speed to him where he gets around. He can probably get around it because really, in all reality, that's not a great block right there. You can see it from the end zone. You don't want that much penetration, but the good thing that he did was, Wilcox blocked him off just enough to let Orlando Brown get around and let him get around. I mean, that's the whole point of that block. So yes, that's a got man. The problem you got here is he just couldn't get his head in front right there, and that caused that to come back. And same thing, kind of these two guys right here. Brown just kind of outran him in all reality, and but they were tossing the ball to Chase Brown. I thought that was good. This is that wham play that the Bengals have been running, and again, it's one of those plays that I think that it's like a trap here. They're whamming here, they're coming out here. He's really blocking out, and he's here. So you got like a body on a body. So if you look, there's body on a body, body on a body, body on a body, body on a body. I mean, it's a well blocked play. And, the problem is like this guy right here, when you run these, you expect him to fly up the field and bam, you push him by and this ball goes right there. Well, he didn't. This is well played by Indianapolis, okay? So hear me out when I tell you this. There are times that other teams are going to make plays, and it's going to happen. And they made a play, but here's what 30 brings to the team here. I mean, look at this now. Now you got guys that are unblocked, and he's running past them. And, I mean, this is a heck of a job over here on the backside by Chase to stay on this block. You can see this from the sideline. But, Chase doesn't think it's coming this way, but but at this point he's like, oop, nope, I got you, buddy, and makes a block for him. So, I mean, there are some good things that are happening with this. I see Mark Fetters in there. I mean, Chase is fast. And Reed, I did not break your hand, but at least I didn't think I did. I mean, I was excited to see you too. All right, now watch this block right here on this play. Again, this is that same bend back play that they ran against, I believe, Jacksonville, and he started this one. He kind of ran back, and I told you they were like reverse blocking it. It's the same exact play. You can see everybody's blocking this to end up going back over here. This play is not built to go here. It's not built to go there. It's built to go back here. But I want you to watch this block right here. I mean, it's not like it's a killer block, but it's like dink. But the point I wanted to make on this one though is like, this is that play, and it's the same thing. Like, if Orlando Brown just kind of kept coming down here, but he's targeting him. It just, these two right here, you can see he's trying to get, the center's trying to get through up here. Karras is trying to get up through to 44. Well, 44 sniffs it out and comes and makes a play. So even Chase Brown can't get out of these type of plays. Okay. So every once in a while when it's happening, I mean, it's just, sometimes you get got. I think that's what, Marshawn said. They might get me, but I'm going to get mine more than they get me or whatever it was. But I just butchered that, but you know what I'm saying? Now this is, let's bounce over here to Mixon. Okay. So that everybody's talked about this play. And this is kind of reminds you of vintage Mixon. And I agree. Like this, so this is duo. This is straight up good old duo, double team. I mean, you got all of these guys are technically blocked. And you can see right here, when receiver goes in to block him, who's that going to leave? It's going to leave one dude right here. Well, Mixon takes it up in there, and he's like, okay, well, they all washed that down. I'm going to come here. Well, he can do one of two things. He can either, knife it up in there, or he could say, all right, bud, me and you. And that's what he did right there. And I'm shocked. I'm shocked that he didn't find a way to stiff arm him, right? Because honestly, I think if he puts that stiff arm right there on him, like he did on the screen, which I'll get to in a minute, then he gets tripped up right here. He comes up kind of funny, like you can see him kind of come up funny. So I don't know if he got dinged up on that one, but again, I mean, that's what Joe can do, man. Mixon's can do that. Now here's that same play going. It's not when I say the same play, same thought process. When that wham we had a minute ago. Well, now instead of whamming this guy, they're going to bring him back and wham this guy, and that way it opens up this lane a little better, because instead of him hitting him here, like you saw Chase Brown a little while ago, they tried to do that and it didn't work. Well, now you block back on these guys, You take him out, him up, and then you wham this guy, and it puts him right up here. And it's just good, decisive running right there. You'd like to see him, pull his feet through that right there. Because I think if he pulls his feet up through there, you could run on this guy. And again, if that's losing a step on somebody, then but that's still a pretty good run. And again, you almost got a little friendly fire right here. But anyway, the run game, man. I mean, I like what the run game's doing. But that was good trust by Mixon to just hit it up in there and trust that those guys were going to get it blocked. Now, again, this is late in the game, so this is what you would call a 4-minute drill. I know it's not inside 4 minutes, okay, but I mean, you got a big lead, fourth quarter, 2nd and 5. You're really just trying to run the clock down. You're trying to get them to start using their timeouts over here, and so this is just duo. And again, they've got a bunch of guys in here for a reason. You want to be able to block these guys, and it's going to leave you one-on-one as the back. But if you watch what he does here, I thought this was great because really he's reading this guy on duo. You read the second level. If he goes here, you go here. If he were to stay in here, then he'd push it up and then he'd be one-on-one with this guy. But because 44 came out, he hit it up in that little crease right there. That's an NFL-sized crease right there, and he gets through. Great ball security. I think everybody, including myself, understands what happened to that area of the field at one point in our lives. Good job getting to the ground. So there's a time to go just get on the ground. There's a time to just get on the ground. That was the time. But I thought that was good by him. And then I want you to watch this from the sideline. I meant to show you this from the sideline. Watch the pile push. So the pile starts right here. So it starts on about the 26. Look at the pile push right there. I know it's not great, but I mean, when you're fighting for it's 2nd and 5 right now. So you're fighting for that first down right there. I mean, that's big, and then get down. Yeah, so it's well done. Now this is on the goal line. So this is the touchdown, and they had tried 2 plays before this. Like both of them were just straight ahead duos, I believe, but this one here, so why do they start the back over here and then move them over here? Is because watch what 44 does. 44 is going to move over, so it gives you better angles for these two going to 44. So right now, in this case right now, 44 is here, so these two would be pushing here, and you'd be cutting off here, and you would, if you were running this way. But when he moves over, 44 moves here. Now, it gives these guys a little bit better angles. Now, 75 lost his angle. That's the only difference. But you can see right here, they get pushing by, hit it up in there, and Joe right here gets stuffed, but he ends up hopping over this thing and getting in, and there's your touchdown. So now one of the things I think everybody's wanting to talk about here is the screen game. Now, watch these screens. Under center, run action. These weren't like true drop back screens. These were play action screens. So what happens on a play action? I want you to watch what happens to these guys. So yeah, when you give run action, they're going to step up. But watch what they do when they realize it's pass. They turn their shoulders and they start, like you got Chase running over here. They're turning their shoulders and getting out of here. He's just running with him. And you've got this one guy responsible for Joe. Well, you pick him off, which they barely got him, but they got him. I'm sorry, Chase Brown. And when he goes here, you pick him off. Now, what's the thing? Here, I talk about this all the time. The ball's on this hash. The sidewalk is between the hash and the numbers if you're on the opposite hash. So it's in the alley. So it's in the alley right there. But you're supposed to catch it and turn up the alley. But there's a rule here, and it's called the green grass rule. Well, when there is nobody there, you just start running. Brother, just start running. And then here at this point, my man here, he learned a good lesson right here. You better front him up a little bit. You might get run over, but you better not try to just clip out here, just go clip his legs with Chase Brown. But again, if you watch the play action, and then these guys actually run themselves out of the play, and then they've got to go chase down this dude. maybe that's why they named him Chase. I don't know. Everybody be chasing him at some point in his life. And look at that dude, man. That guy's fast now. That guy's got some talent. So it could be Sir Boy Wonder. It could be number one. Guys like that, I will say this. Guys that are smaller like that, though, they need to make sure that they have a rotation going, because I'm telling you that the hits those dudes take at running back, like during, if they do run the ball, those smaller guys, the Geos of the world, those kind of guys, just they just need to have a rotation. I'm not saying he can't be number one. He can be number one. But just make sure he's not taking every single hit. Now, if you watch this play, this isn't the exact same exact same motion, because on the last one, you remember they had Jamar Chase going around like this. This time they're going to motion, like fly motion, to try to draw the eyes. Now, look, watch what happens. Play action. Watch these guys right here. I mean, he's like, his eyes aren't even on it. He's got his back turned to it. And then all of a sudden you get this one guy who's not rushing. That's the kicker. I'll show you one in just a minute that didn't work. But you get that one guy picked up, and you get your other two, and now they're on this hash. So now the sidewalk is down these numbers. Okay, so when the sidewalk's down those numbers, watch where Joe Mixon turns up. Joe's going to catch this, and he turns directly up these numbers. Why does he do that? Can these two guys right now see Joe Mixon? Watch right now. Can either one of these two guys see that guy? No, they can't. So they have to trust that he's going to take it right there, because what's going to happen is if there was a guy sitting right here, he'd kick him out right there, and then he would turn up. But there's nobody to kick right here, so he turns up the outside edge of the numbers. He turns up the inside edge of the numbers, and then you're blocking as you see it here. And you see that's exactly how it worked out. And then Joe, at this point, the sidewalk has been used. At this point now, make something happen. Now you're a kickoff return. And watch what my man 39 right here. Joe says, no, get down. Bam, get down. So, again, man, I mean, the screen game, but if you watch it from this angle here, so, these are like the play actions are a little longer, maybe 2.5, 3 count screens. So you go 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and they're out. And you can see right now they're not looking. He has no idea. But he knows Joe's turning right up that sidewalk right there. He gets here, kick him out. He's going here. You kind of just keep that sidewalk open for him right there, and then that one's on Joe. And you tell these receivers when they're running, like you see T. Higgins' feet up here when they get up there. All right, now go find somebody to block. So. We got Casey jumping in chat here. Does the improved run game affect the screen game at all? They ran screen with Burrow. And so I think right now the way they're running it, yes, because it's the play actions. So they're actually playing. They're setting for their run gaps. But the deal is, once they see play action, they know they're trying to throw it over their head. So I mean, watch my guy here. I mean, he's not even looking. Like, this guy's running away from the ball's here, and this guy's still running away from it all. And somebody's probably yelling screen at that point down there. They could probably hear it. But again, there's that one. Now, this one here didn't, not a whole lot of people talked about this one, but this is a chip screen. And really, this was on, what was it, 2nd and 6? What was the situation here? No real situation, just, they're pass rushing. So do you want to necessarily go up in there and get caught up in all the pick games? No. So you come out here and you chip the outside and you kind of fall back to about right here. But the thing is, your sidewalk is still in the alley because you're on this hash over here. And watch where Chase Brown turns up. He's going to turn up right here. And you see these guys, they're going here, they're going here. That takes practice, man. That's not by mistake. And then he kind of deviates a little bit, but that's because that's where his guys are going. So at that point, you kind of follow your guys. And at this point, man, he almost outruns his blocking. And but I mean, look at the effort downfield here. I mean, the effort here. They've practiced this, which is you can tell right now, because screens are not easy to run. Okay, and the timing for these chip screens is just a touch different too, because instead of the back being somewhere in here and then releasing like this, he's already out here. So these guys may leave just a tick quicker, just because he's already way out here, and it's just the timing of the location of the back. But I mean, and they may be actually they might be saying, hey, our chip screen's going out to the numbers. Some people do it differently. It looks like maybe they're doing that, but like I said, I'm not in their building, but that's that. So I said this was a bad screen. This wasn't a bad screen. This was a screen that the one thing that kills screens is when somebody doesn't rush. Okay, so look, you washed him down in there. Joe gets around him fine, and Joe still gets the ball. The problem you have now is this guy's consumed over here. Usually you get two guys out. Well, all of a sudden you've just got one guy out because he got consumed with him, and the problem is usually he'd be blocking him because that guy would have rushed past, and you got a guy here, and that would have worked just like the other ones worked. But the problem is the guard Kappa got consumed by the non-rusher. And again, that's the killer of screens. Killer of screens is a non-rusher, and especially a squatting, 3 technique to the side of the screen. So right there, so that just kind of kills it. Do I think this coaching staff was apprehensive to put these in because of Joe Burrow? I don't think so, but I think what happened was when the new quarterback came in, they had to find different ways to get things done. So they started practicing these, and they probably realized, in all reality, like they're not the biggest. Now that dude's pretty dang big. That guy's big, but I'm saying you got more athletic guys. I mean, you got guys that can get in space, and these are your two guys that have been out in space both times, and just working those. And one of the things here too, this is random, I know we spend a lot of time on the screens, but if usually the guard gets out first, well, if the center ever gets out first, watch how Karras realizes I'm out first. I've got to go get the wide guy now. We've got to switch responsibilities, and he's kind of trusting in the back of his mind. And again, he's not looking. He doesn't know where anything is behind him. He's just thinking that he would be there. But again, it just you got sometimes. Now I want to point this out. This is the poise for Jake Browning. This was this was after a punter. This was a first play of a series here. But again, here's that same motion. That's the exact same thing. Chase Brown's screen, the big touchdown off Chase Brown's screen, was run out. Look, they're all doing the same thing. So they knew they also had that screen out of this. So they're probably seeing that. But again, the one thing that happens on these is you bring this tight end back across, and he's one-on-one with a defensive end. It's just part of it, man. I mean, it's like you build it off of what you're doing your run game off of. But I want you to watch Browning sit in his pocket, because Sample right here gets just pushed around. And then all of a sudden you got a guy, and look at this. I mean, that's not like if you took that picture right there and said, man, that's going to be a really good play. I mean, that's going to be a 17-yard completion to Tyler Boyd. I mean, I think a lot of people have been like, shoot, he's probably getting sack fumble for a touchdown right there. But look at him stand in, all that. And again, that could be better. Sure. That will happen though. That will happen when you have tight ends. And that's one of the things you take a chance on. But if you do some of these actions, you're not going to get the pull. And again, I want you to watch 44. I mean, look at him. I mean, I don't know if he's right or not in that coverage, but I mean, I'm assuming right now that they had something with one of these other receivers. And I mean, you left Tyler Boyd wide open. But again, when the play action happens, when they realize it's passed, they take off, they turn around, and they run. That's what, if you find a team that does that, screen them. Run at them, play action, then boom, screen them. And then I'm telling you, that's why there was so much success with that. Now, this was a scramble. This is 3rd and 2, okay? And people are going to be like, well, why am I showing a 3-yard gain? 3rd and 2. So he drops back. Okay. I mean, you could see he's looking over here to try to really kind of throw that to that, but nothing's there. Okay, so this guy adds on. Well, you got Sample in the backfield as the back, and he checks down right here, and you think, okay, he's just going to turn his shoulders and dump it to him. Watch how long this play takes off. I mean, he's dang near running backwards and ends up throwing this play, ends up getting a first down. That doesn't seem like a big play, but if you end up punting right here, I don't remember what happened after this. Let me see here. What was the situation in the game here? Start of the second quarter. It's probably the drive that they went down and had the field goal with the launching. So I mean, you're talking about taking a touchdown drive off the field. If you don't complete this 3-yard pass on a pretty impressive scramble. Now here this is I posted this one on X, formerly known as the Twitter. And but if you see this is just this is 3rd and 9. 3rd and 9. Well, they're going to run a 10-yard out route right here, which is, these are normal pass routes. So, normally you have in quick game, you have a 5-yard out and a must outside release here. Well, all they've done is it's 3rd and 10, so they made it 10. And I believe they were running they ran some 2-man at one point on film. I remember seeing before, not necessarily in the game versus the Bengals, but they had shown some 2-man. Molly, thank you for the comment. Sorry, those of y'all that don't know, Molly appreciates my haircut, and I grew it myself. So, let me see real quick. I missed a couple. My question: would you buy the O-line playing better, or is it the opponent? And do our free agent linemen look more comfortable using athleticism? To answer both of your questions, I think the offensive line is probably playing better with more confidence. I think the confidence factor is more than anything. It's not that they've gotten better, not like that. Fundamentally, they've been doing things. I just think they have more confidence. They're running the ball. They're getting to do things, and it's one of those things that just kind of happens whenever you start doing it more. I mean, think about anything you do in life. The more you practice it, the more you perform at it. Anybody's job. I mean, you're gonna get better at it, and you're gonna have more confidence in it. So I think that's what it is. And I know it's simple, but it's the truth. Pretty cool little shot right there, just with the whole. It's like it just takes up the whole picture right there. Look at that. But anyway, I want to show you this. They're going to run a TE here, so that's the tackle, and this is the end. And when the T goes first, he comes around. You call it a TE. If the E goes first and the T comes around, you call it a TE or an ET. But this would be a TE right here, and you can see the end comes free right here. Volson doesn't get this thing passed off. It gets stuck. And not that he gets hit, but you can see, I mean, he sits in there, he steps into it, he's got him barreling down on him, and he just sits in, steps in, makes a good throw. I mean, yeah, he throws it high, but here's the thing. You throw it high because you got a guy who could catch it. If you don't want to take a chance of throwing it too low and this little DB behind him coming in and coming in and knocking it out. So I thought that was really good. This was the quarterback sneak, but I want you to watch this. This is Tom Brady-like, okay? I know, not everybody is the biggest Tom Brady fan in the Bengals world, but Tom Brady used to do this, and it was like he would come up here, and he'd find wherever the hole was, and I mean, he literally just kind of steps back and finds that, and Mixon gives him the shove, and this is, I mean, you can see Joe thinks he's going straight ahead, but Browning looked over here. I guarantee you looked over here and said, well, crap, there ain't nobody over. Look, their entire team's over here. And he just said, oh, why am I going to do that when I can just do that now? Little shot. So, have a little fun. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't, try to launch that thing up there into his to his family in the suite. I've seen some quarterbacks try to do that. This is the go ball to chase. And I put this in the poise category because sometimes you just got to take a shot, man. I mean, just take a shot. And here's the thing. You try to throw a back shoulder to him, it doesn't get there. But here's what you do. You look over here and you go, I can't even tell you who 40 is, honestly. And he's wearing number 40 as a corner in the NFL. I mean, you can think he probably was a rookie and lost his, wasn't able to get the number he wanted. But right there, do that because right now, Jamar's going to play back into this defender and cause the PI. And again, I mean, yeah, that's not the greatest throw, but he threw it to where it was either PI or a catch. So I just thought that was a good quarterback move to say, I'm gonna take a shot. going to take a shot to our best player, and that's what it is. Now, here's the interception. This, to me, and again, I'm not in their building, but if I've seen, this is just a wrap route, so he's going to run like right up the inside edge of the numbers, and you see that's where he's sitting. He's sitting right on the inside edge of the numbers. Every wrap route that I've been a part of, from the Bengals to the Lions to Jags to anywhere, you sit on the inside edge of the numbers, and this guy comes up here, and then he wraps behind it, and you're high-lowing this guy in all reality. And when Jake Browning throws this ball, he sees this guy setting back, and he's just going to try to bang it right there because you see the first downs right there. And this is just second. I mean, it's just 2nd and 4, but this is at the end of the first half. You know, there's 1:45 left, just trying to get some more points. And see this from the end zone. You know, is he maybe he's in the middle of the numbers and he was supposed to be right here? I mean, again, I'm not in the building, but all I can say is this is just not a good combination between the two of these guys. And I don't think it's hard to say who it was on. I would say just if anybody's just casually watching, they're going, man, that's a bad throw. Was he supposed to be further inside, or was the case, whatever the case is? Because if you look, he's leaving from, an attached position. Well, not really an attached, but he's leaving from, kind of inside the box position, and he's outside releasing. So, again, I don't know. I would love to give you the answer to that, but I thought this was by this guy right here. I mean, he's just like, oh, cool. You got me a touchdown. But anyway, that stuff happens, guys. And, they end up getting the 2-point conversion. Pass scheme stuff. Now, this was a throwback to Chase. I thought this was kind of well done because when you play a team who plays, man or plays one high or brackets and kind of some stuff that has some man elements to it, especially on your best receiver. Because you can see right now, look, they've got him and him basically bracketing Chase, and they're saying Chase isn't going to beat us. Well, when he goes and does this half roll over here and turns back, and he's going to put this ball over the top. And, I mean, it's just so close, man. I mean, it's just – and this was one right here, really, honestly, like when you see it from the end zone on 39, if 39 played straight through him like probably Chase was trying to get him to do, that's PI right there. But, again, I think 39 right there isn't really pushing him as much and got his arm just up through the pocket there where he's trying to catch that ball, because you can see it kind of hits off of his shoulder right there. But talking about the pass though. I mean, I think it's just a cool idea here is get him coming over here, Mixon going over here, and then throw it back over the top. So ways of getting the ball to your best receiver or your best player. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, and they got to keep trying to get it to him. Now, this was I thought this was interesting because you're sending your tight end in this orbit motion. That's what I call this. You're kind of going around the world right here, so it's orbit motion. And so what you're doing is you're kind of like faking the toss here. You're pulling a guy, and then you're really trying to throw it. All you're trying to do is it's a play action, naked-ish type of thing, but you're trying to get those two guys to step up. And you got him kind of running right here, and you got him pushing up and then coming right in behind. And you can see right here, it didn't really hold him, but heck of a throw, man. Look at where he throws this ball. I mean, they got that thing boxed out pretty good. And I mean, he puts that ball right in the middle of that box right there. I mean, that's impressive. And here's the cool thing that I like about this play, though. Look at the check down on this play. Let's say he decided not to throw it to these guys and he threw it to Mixon. That orbit motion that came around, now he becomes a blocker for your check down. So if he would have just dropped it off to Joe, I mean, you're turning that into a semi-screen right there. And I thought that was a pretty cool little addition to, eye candy, all that crap, kind of fake a toss. But then, I mean, that's all they're trying to do. They're trying to throw it in behind these guys. But, I mean, the fact that, he got it into that right there is pretty impressive. So if you see this from the end zone, you can see what Browning sees right here. And he sees this guy break right here, and he decides to – so he could pull this down and throw it right there probably a little quicker. Probably, boom, he would have had to hit him right there. But he pulled that thing down and put that thing right there. And, I mean, it's an impressive throw, man. Good stuff. this was the Tanner Hudson touchdown, and I just want to bring this up. This is what people call a quick seam. Some might call this a Y post in the digit system. But what's happening here is T. Higgins is going to come try to pull these guys out. But here's the kicker. Tyler Boyd's going to run up here and kind of get in this guy's vision and run across. We call this an elimination shallow. He's trying to take this guy and get his attention and pull him out of this area over here somewhere so you can open up this area right here. Because here's what's going to happen. When T. Higgins goes up like this, it's going to gain the eyes of them. So they're boxing this. You see that? See how they're boxing it? So you're going to take a guy high. You're going to pull a guy through to get him to come out. This guy's playing outside low. This guy's playing outside high, inside low. See what I'm saying? Those are their kind of like zones with this. But you can see right here, he runs out and he runs right back in. And see how he pulls this guy, because this guy's got to go in with him now. See how that pulled that guy out of there, and that's what made that play. And then you kind of run him up and out so it holds him just enough, and then you pull him out of there, and there goes Tanner Hudson for his first ever touchdown. So congratulations on that. We do have a super chat. I'd like to hit that while it's right here. Ben, I appreciate you being in here, man. You're loyal to the show, man. I do appreciate it. Notice Jake will go to the check down more than Joe does, distribute a little bit more. Any idea why? I think Joe Burrow knows, you said it, like aggressive, wants to be aggressive, double-edged sword type of thing. But I think Joe knows Burrow that he's played long enough and he's made those plays and he has confidence in making those plays. But I think sometimes when you're getting your feet wet again, like Browning is, you just kind of want to take the safe throw sometimes, which isn't always a bad thing, man. It's not always a bad thing to take the safe throw. Take what they give you and let your players play. I mean, that's a screen game. I mean, if you would have told Jake Browning that he would have over 100 yards passing and on 3 passes, those 3 screens, and never throw the ball past the line of scrimmage, I think he'd be like, interesting. But that's why you got all those players around him. Hopefully that answers your question. Let me see here. Where was that? Oh, yeah. So that's what this was. So when they're playing that kind of box bracket thing. So like I said, he's got the bottom of the box. So you take him, you pull him out. He's got the top of the box. Take him, pull him out, and then you bring a guy right back into the middle of the box right there. So there's your box right there. Box in the bunch is what they call it. Boom, hit him right in there, and there you go. That's the thought process behind that. And if they weren't playing that coverage, you got a lot of other options. I mean, some of those routes are still good versus other coverages. T. Higgins. Let's talk a little about T. Higgins here. This was an amazing adjustment. So we've seen those slot fades where they start here and they fade out and they do this. Well, if you ever want to run those with an outside guy, you just inside stem release him and then give him that same kind of leeway here. You can see that it's the same thought process. Instead of him starting here and doing this and going, he's just inside releasing here, and then it's the same thought process here. And yes, Mark, I do agree. Defenses will adjust to him, though. I mean, just give them time. They'll all catch up. But it's just as long as he can keep getting the balls to, like right here, give your guy a chance. I mean, look at this guy. This guy's all turned around. But right here, he turns in, looks inside, and he turns back out. And I think everybody saw Tyreek Hill do the same thing a couple weeks ago. That's not easy. I know I've told y'all to go out in your backyard and to try certain things. Go out in the park one day or go out in the street. I wouldn't go out in the street. You'll probably fall down. I don't want y'all skinning up or anything like that. I'm talking about myself too now. I mean, it's, there's certain age guys. Don't go out in the street and run routes. Okay, you're going to fall down in the street and get hurt. But that's a heck of a recovery, man. And that's just, again, you said don't go broke. You won't go broke taking a profit. There's a point where, you throw it right there and bam. I mean, heck of a play. Now I'm going to do a little throwback to you. All right. I know it's a throwback to a game. A lot of people don't like to talk about it. I don't like to talk about it either. But when something happened in this game and I went, man, that looks familiar. Man, that looks real familiar. You had A.J. McCarron in a 3-by-1 formation, roughly in the red zone, close enough. You got one of your best receivers right here, and A.J. McCarron says, you know what? Hey, look at this. Look at this route. It's not the exact same, but look, run up here, A.J. Green. How about let's throw a dime to A.J. Green. Dink, get in there, score, take the lead. All right. Now, if Jeremy only knew what was yet to happen in this game, I'm not sure we'd be. But that was in response to the December game. But I want to show you that. All right. Now, let's fast forward. Now, for some odd reason, this guy stole that number 5 AJ was wearing and got your number 4 right here. But look at this, man. I mean, this is it's damn near this. I mean, it's a 3, I guess it's not 3-by-1, but it's the same thought process here. I mean, it throws a freaking fade ball basically to your best receiver. And you'll see this from the end zone. And I know a lot of people have talked about this, and that's what they saw right there. I'm just telling y'all what they saw. And they saw this guy go that way. And I get it, man. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. But that's what they saw. And they saw the reaction of this guy going this way. The thing is, he didn't need to extend that arm. And I think if you'd ask him 100 times, he'd tell you, I wouldn't have extended that arm right there. But right there, I mean, because he would have made that exact same right there. He'd made that exact same catch had that guy gone straight up. You know what I mean? So, but again, I think this shows you something else. And I'm not that's one of my. I mean, I grew to really love AJ, but you still got some guys that can play, even because everybody got worried when Browning had a cramp in his thumb or whatever it was. But I mean, to me, I think you still got something there, and you got to just have faith in that, man. I mean, that's some good stuff right there, and but that's the offense, man. I mean, the offense was clicking, and if they can keep that kind of momentum going, because they built off of it over the past couple weeks. If you watch it, I mean, the Pittsburgh game, the Pittsburgh game might be a blessing in disguise, and I know nobody will understand why I'm saying that, but like, it's one of those games where you kind of figured out what you don't want to do, and if you look, it's kind of like been a totally opposite thing against Jacksonville and against against Indianapolis. And, man, y'all got me thinking about Minnesota. I was reading something there a minute ago. If they can keep that momentum going, they'll be fine. One of the things I did not mention this in the intro, but I did bring some friends with me. Got a little festivities going on in the house here. So anyway, just thought I'd if you haven't seen my little friends sitting around here, but they're Merry Christmas to everybody. Whatever you're celebrating out there, we celebrate Christmas here at the Caskey household. But moving on to the defense. All right, with the defense. Now, there's going to be some stuff I'm going to say this was bad or whatever. Not necessarily was it bad, okay? But you could see that something happened and then later it got fixed. And that's kind of where I'm kind of going with this. So the first couple plays here with the defense, this was an RPO thrown on Jermaine Pratt. And this is one of those ones. So what they're doing is they're actually man blocking the backside. They're blocking here, and they're reading him to throw the ball. And you can see right here, watch 11 right here. He's going to do this and come right here. Well, if Pratt goes this way, you throw that ball right there. Well, see how Pratt stuck his foot and he hung right there? Well, here's the thing that I said wasn't really great. Okay. I'm not sure what he saw here because, again, man, when you're standing right there, you're seeing a lot of different things. You're seeing things that we're not seeing from. But you can see right here, his job is knowing that, hey, they've got that RPO right there. But as the running back, you make this cut, that guy's not blocked. Because right here, this was I know in a previous life this was called a hustler. So it's a man. It's a man read. They're man blocking, and you're reading because men read hustler. I told y'all we're brain scientists and rocket surgeons over here. So that but again, I just thought I was like, shoot your gun, man. But that's one of the few times I'm telling you, that's one of the few times this dude wasn't shooting his gun in this game, man. I mean, this guy made some plays. And now this is an RPO, and again, when I say it's bad, it's not bad. It's just they got. And you can see right here, when you're blitzing this guy off the edge, Logan Wilson's really responsible for more over here. And you can see right there, when he blitzed off the edge, he pulled this from running this little wham play that they're running. See, they're running a little wham play, and he threw it right here over the top of the nickel blitz, and, you know, they ended up getting some yardage. So, I mean, when I say it's bad, it's just one of those things like, yeah, got. But I consider this a run play. These last two have been their RPOs and their runs, and you can see right here it's the same thought process that the Bengals were doing. They're trying to wham a guy and run it up in here, and really he probably could have handed that off and been okay. But the read is, when that guy leaves and that guy doesn't cover, you throw it to your man right there. And we used to call this a follow the wind. So, like, if he was an airplane and he was going that way, he would leave a jet stream behind him. So there's a jet stream right there. So if he leaves, you just kind of turn your head and look down that jet stream and follow the wind, because you might get a hot throw just randomly, even on a normal route. Even if this was just a drop back pass and you had a vertical, just peek. We just call it follow the wind. Like, there was a wind trail right there, follow the wind. So little tidbit right there. Now, looking at some good stuff, man. Let's talk about Pratt for a minute. This dude's impressive, and I mean, he's always been impressive. But I want you to watch him. He right here. He like deciphers the play. He sees it. He diagnoses what's going on. And this is his gap right here. I'll show it to you from the end zone. But I want you to watch how fast he hits this thing. He hits this thing so fast that the backside guard can't get to him. And yes, guys, the rocket surgeons and brain scientists, I did that on purpose. Okay, I do know there are no such things as rocket scientists. Brain surgeons, maybe. Yeah, I'm kidding on that too. I got all kinds of dad jokes, guys. If y'all ever need to if y'all ever want to just have like a 20-minute dad joke period, I can hit that all night long. But anyway, you see how he diagnoses the outside zone, and boom, this is his gap. So you know what? It's a run. I don't have any responsibility in pass at this point, because you could see the way they're going. Boom, hit that gap. Boom, made the play. Next play I got here, the same thing, man. I mean, diagnoses this play and says, you know what? There's that gap. There's that gap. He's got that gap. I've got this gap now, and boom. Yeah, he gets kind of pinballed, but look at that. His getting pinballed caused that play. So shoot it. Almost looks like a blitz. I'll be honest with you, I don't think that's a blitz. I think he knew right here that this was what that was, the inside zone with the away block, the crunch block. And, but that's, I thought that was a really good play. Now this is a late stem. And when I say that, he's going to late stem to the end of the line right here. They're actually going to bring a blitz from this side and play him on this edge right here. And what they're going to do is they're going to kind of, they void it out. So they got 4 deep, 1 under, and they kind of void out the coverage, but they're saying, you know what? And right here, again, he could have easily have thrown that, but he had his back turned in the way it was out of the pistol. But watch what happens when he comes down to the edge. He's going to set the edge right here. You got Hendrickson playing in there, and boom, set the edge. Get Mo Alley Cox turned right there. There's nowhere for him to go. He's got to run right back into that junk right there. You know, you'd like to see the tight end take him and run him out a little bit, spread these guys out and run them, but they're not. He sets the edge, bam. And again, there you go. All right, now, this is impressive, and I believe this is Josh Tupou at the nose right here. But this is impressive watching these two guys. So this is 3rd and 1. Okay, so they can actually still get a first down in here. But this is third. It's right before they scored the touchdown. But this is 3rd and 1. And if you watch this from the end zone, I want you to watch these two guys right here, and then watch Logan Wilson. I mean, even Reader right here. I mean, look what he does to these two guys. Back in the day, that might have get called defensive holding, but you know what? There's nobody standing down here anymore. It didn't get called. So guess what? Never happened. But look at Tupou right here. I mean, you ain't going anywhere. You ain't going anywhere. You ain't going anywhere. And watch Logan Wilson come up here and boom. So great job by those interior guys. And again, Logan Wilson, I think, gets credit for this tackle People are going to say great play by Logan Wilson, which it is. Don't get me wrong. But I promise you that play was made by those three big dudes right there. So good job by that. Tackling issues. A few bad things here. But again, I want you to watch when we get back into this. So it's kind of a check down here. Here in a minute, I'm going to show you a flat route. A little check down right here. So right now, he's catching this and he's running right here. He should be on the inside. He should be on the outside. And then somebody else fits on the inside right here. So you see where it should be. So you keep him from going back in there. You keep him from going out here. You make him go in between you, and it's just a vice drill. And Mike Hilton kind of gets run around right there, and that's a, it's a 15-yard gain. And but if you look right here, inside out, and again, maybe Hilton thought he had inside help there. I'm not sure. Again, I'm not in their building, but I'm going to show you that, and I'll show you a different one here in just a second. Same thing by Battle right here. I think that's Battle right there. Yeah, right there. You see it right here. You go inside, you go outside, you fit in the middle. And you can see it's kind of what they're doing. Like Pratt's outside, he's inside. You fit in the middle, and he gets beat on the inside. And then you look right here, inside, outside, middle. I mean, it just kind of like that one didn't work. Find the next one. Find the next one to put the, to put the vice on. Now watch this right here. This is like, you know what? Y'all don't want to tackle him? Cool. I'll get him. But you can see right here, stay inside. Same thing happened. Now, here's what I want to point out, though. This was a great vice tackle by the running back to the flat. All right, so think about that one I showed you 2 plays ago with the running back to the flat. Running back to the flat, inside, outside, fit right here. Perfect. That's exactly what it should look like. Inside, outside, finish him off. And yeah, it's a, what's the yardage here? 3 yards. Great job. I mean, it's there. And then this last one, this is kind of this is one of those ones. So Battle's playing quarters. Okay, so he can't allow, if this guy were to run a post right here, he's got to take him vertical. Okay, so he's got to respect this as a vertical route. So you see what he's doing? See how he's kind of backpedaling? He's like, okay, this might be a vertical route. But watch the second he realizes he stops. He breaks on this and goes up and makes this tackle. That is, they converted, 2nd and 5, and, them getting like 11 yards. But point is, you got a rookie here that's starting to play a lot more, and you start seeing things like that show up. And that's something impressive that they need to, take, it's a good thought to just know that you got, take comfort in knowing that you got a guy that's getting better. So especially at that position, I think everybody was a little worried. Now coverage, there's a few things in coverage. Now this is going to be everybody's favorite Spider 2 Y banana. All right. So Y banana means he's running a corner. It looks like a banana. See, does that not look like a banana to y'all? If y'all don't think that looks like a banana, then something ain't right. But he's going to bluff flat. He's going to go cut the edge. You're going to end up having somebody else coming over the top here. All right, so good old Spider 2, Y banana. Spider 2 means they're all going this way. He's running his banana route, and he's cutting the end right there. Or he's actually bluffing. He's cutting the outside leg of the end right there, and the quarterback's going to do that. And there you go, Spider 2, Y banana. Now, here's why I just said it's and again, this is not bad, okay? When I say it's bad, but like Logan Wilson here, again, this was the 4th and 1 play. So they had just stopped it with that play I showed you earlier. And now Logan Wilson's like, man, are they going to run it? Crap. And just, got me. So eyes in the backfield just a little too long. But again, I mean, tough play. Is this secure? That's a security guy right there. I don't think that's a Colts guy. No, that is a Colts guy. Never mind. I was about to say that the Bengals need to check their security guys. Now this is a 2-point play. They're really playing zone right here. They're not playing man, but when Michael Pittman runs a crossing route, really one of these guys has got to either drop back to him or he's got to run with him. And you can see right there, Pratt drops back a little bit, but just kind of doesn't get on him just enough. And it's a really good throw just to get it over there. But that's how they got the 2-point conversion. You get these two guys over here to consume those. He's already inside. He's not thinking about that back corner right there at this point, and ran that guy right behind him. So good play by the Colts. Tied the game up right before the half. And, the good play started showing up after that. Now, this is good. The Colts are going to see man. So I'm at the game, and I'm talking to Warren, a buddy of mine that was with me, and I said, okay, you got Jermaine Pratt out here on the running back, man coverage. It's man. So when it's man, watch, they're going to check this play. They're going to can, or they're going to move these guys back. Now, what they're trying to do is they're going to try to run him here and then have him do this and run to the flat right here, because you can see they just got to get to here. But what happens is you're hoping to get him to run over the top because he's pressed. So you're hoping he takes him and he goes over the top and you can do that. Well, great play right here. I mean, amazing play. And that's Dax Hill, guys. That's a safety. That's Dax Hill. And good job of him, man. I mean, getting through there, and then you can see it from the other view. He gets his hand in front. That's not pass interference by any means. Gets his hand in front, breaks the pass up. Great job, especially the fact that they saw man, and they diagnosed that one pretty good. Last couple here. Colts are going to run an inside switch route. Same thing, man. It's like a man. He's going to go here, and then he's going to kind of come under and do this. Now, what you're trying to do here is when you run this route, you want him to have to go underneath you and chase, which they got done. See how right there, Logan Wilson went underneath? And now he's going to run this route. So you got your tight end running on a linebacker, and I think a better throw might be a touchdown. Logan Wilson's doing everything he can. Now watch. When he sees his arms go up, he throws his arms up. Watch this right here. See, he turns, and you can see he sees the ball. The ball's right there. So when he sees his hands go up, watch his reaction right now as his hands go up. He throws his hands up, and that's it hits him right in the back of the head. Dink, hit him right there in the head. That's why that ball bounced so high right there. Boom, hit Wilson right in the head. But good coverage, man. I mean, but that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to do all these man coverage things. They scored on it on the goal line. The 3rd and 2 play they had. Now this is cover 0, and I put this in good. Okay, I know this was a conversion. This was 3rd and 11. I believe it ended up being a conversion here, but I want you to watch Mike Hilton. So Mike Hilton has this guy man. He has this guy man. He has this guy man, and they're bringing zero blitz right here. 0 blitz means there's no help in the back end over here. But watch Mike Hilton break on his guy first. But watch the reaction he gets when he realizes it's not thrown. That's the just that reaction, and I think, they'd probably tell DJ Turner, go ahead and, because he's probably worried about that, which when you don't have any help, that is something to worry about. But great job by Hilton. I mean, this is one of those ones. I mean, he makes a half a step quicker. I mean, this could have been that could have been a big play. I mean, it could have been like an interception. It could have been, pass breakup or something. But again, when you've got, look, I mean, they're bringing the house here. And again, this is one of those ones. You've seen them in the past episodes where they've Logan Wilson's jumped out of here and knocked balls down, and led to, I believe one led to an interception. But again, that's just a good play. Now I want you to pay attention to this play. Remember the double pass last week? So just say there was a guy out here and threw the ball out here, and there's Tyler Boyd and Joe Mixon faked and went over here and was hanging out. It's the exact same play. It's just you're not double passing it. So if you look, they're all running out here to kind of get lost. But watch Mike Hilton. Mike Hilton doesn't fall for it because he's seen the double pass. He's seen the screen in practice by the Bengals. But he got it. Now, if he just blocks Mike Hilton right here, it's a big play. Mike Hilton goes, gets underneath. At this point, he's like, I got to make a tackle because I just lost my outside leverage. And he ends up making this tackle on the outside. But you can see, like, they're all running elephants on parade going that way, and right there got a good tackle right there. So good job by him. Last 3 plays here, sacks. First play of the game. Who likes a sack on the first play of the game by the Bengals defense if you're a Bengals fan? Probably everybody, right? Now, what happened here? A lot of stuff happened here. Hendrickson's going to bull his guy back, okay? B.J. Hill and Reeder are going to run a pick game. So right here, Reeder's going to come in here. They're going to see that it's pass, so he's going to go around here, and just a lot of stuff happening. I mean, you got guys falling all over the place. You got a bull back. There's not. He's going to try to step up, but again, here he comes, and that's a sandwich on the first game or first play right there of the game. So that was a wake up right there. Sean Connor, I see you. Mullins named the starter. Hey, that's going to be part of the Vikings preview coming up in a couple days. So you guys stay tuned for that. I'll get to that in a minute. Now this was just a straight up Hendrickson runaround, man. I mean, sometimes your guy's just better than their dude. But watch the effort right here. He misses. He goes for the ball and misses, but he doesn't. He doesn't stop. And I think that's one of those things, man. When you got a guy with that kind of motor, was that? And now this one was. I think that. I mean, this ended up being an interception by B.J. Hill, but again, Hendrickson's going to run around my guy here, and he's going to, get his hand on it. This ball hits. I think it hits Sam Hubbard in the hand, or hits 75 in the back of the head, or something right here. I think it's 75 in the back of the head, and B.J. Hill ends up catching this thing. I mean, so again, sometimes, man. I mean, all this effort, to try to collapse pockets, and then you got to remember, like, just because you don't get there doesn't mean you stop playing, because you never know when that ball is going to fall in your lap right here, man. Boom, great. I mean, that's a big man diving for a ball right there. Come on now, I'm all for that. So, but then this was. Oh, by the way, this was. I'll show you the scoreboard. This is 2nd and 25 from the 25. So in other words, it was 2nd and goal. At one point, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they might have been on the 4-yard line, 1st and goal from the 4. Had some penalties and I believe the tackle for loss or something. But anyway, they 2nd and 25, 2nd and goal. So not a bad way to not a bad thing to be in if you're the Bengals. I'd like to, I think everybody'd like a second, if you're on defense, especially 2nd and goal from the 25. Now, hey, just, looking forward, I think everybody's starting to get excited about the offense. I think the defense played fairly well. That the Colts didn't do a whole lot of anything really, to write home about when it came to their game plan. But they will host the Minnesota Vikings on Saturday. So short week. Now, here's the thing. You just played a home game on Sunday. You got a home game on Saturday. It is the 1:00 game, so it's an early game. So your normal schedule, but it's not like it's a short week. I mean, yes, you lost a day. I get it, but you got a lot of time to prepare. You do have a new quarterback, Nick Mullins, coming in with the Vikings. Don't be shocked if Josh Dobbs shows back up at some point in this game. So don't be shocked if that happens. The one thing, the Vikings are 7-6. They're coming off an amazing 3-0 win over the Las Vegas Raiders. So high-powered offenses were going against each other that day, and you could see, man. I mean, I'm sure those people in the stands were just going nuts for all the offense that was going on there. But they've been playing with backup quarterbacks since Kirk Cousins got hurt. The Bengals are a four-point favorite. I would say that's probably going to change. I think the Bengals will probably end up being, more of a 5-point favorite, maybe 6-point favorite by the time it's said and done. I just feel like the feel of getting guys back and with Browning playing better. Again, that was as of yesterday, Monday. So I'm sure it may have changed even more since. So, and yes, Sean Connor makes a good point. Bengals are number 2 in turnover margin. I actually have this written down. The Vikings are 23rd with a -5. The Bengals are second with a +10. So you talk about turnover differential. Turnover differential penalties are a big thing too, but turnover differential, when you have a 15 turnover advantage on your turnover differential, that's pretty hefty. So I do appreciate everybody being in. I want to thank Reed. Reed's in the background somewhere. He is in there. Reed did a great job. He stuck with it today, man. You were on it, man. I want to thank Chatterbox Sports. Please go like, follow, subscribe on the YouTube page, Chatterbox Sports. You can find me at Coach Kyle Caskey. You can find at Cbox Sports. Go follow them. If you get a chance, watch the morning show with Tom Brenneman off the bench. That's from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on weekday mornings Eastern time on the Chatterbox Sports Network on YouTube. And we will see you in the next couple of days. There will be some preview shows dropped about the Minnesota offense and Minnesota defense. And other than that, we will see you guys next Tuesday, hopefully talking about another joyous victory for your Bengals out there. All right, guys. We'll see you later on.